What's up, guys? It's your girl Matt Cox with MA Couture Crafting. And today I just want to show you guys a really quick project that can be nice and fun. One of the things that I think you should do is instead of using huge pearl heavy balls that you get from Joann's, is maybe switch them out for styrofoam balls, which would make it a lot lighter and just the same kind of vibe, super cool. These are just bracelets and necklaces that you can do with some of your scrap fabrics, or you can buy fabric specifically for this. It's so much fun and it's so cool to zhuzh up your outfits with, some Tula pink or some cafe or whatever your fabric heart desires to just make your own jewelry for funsies. And I got tons and tons and tons of compliments when I wore the jewelry to, what was it, QuiltCon. And so I want to show you guys how I made it. It's super duper simple. It's basically once you learn to turn a tube, you are good. So if you'd like to see my jewelry and how I zhuzh up my outfits, please keep watching and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye bye. So here we have the necklace and the matching bracelet. Stay tuned for the bracelet. So I have bought a ton of beads because in my mind I was going to be able to pass the fabric through and it was going to be so cool and obscure, yada, yada, yada. Turns out, be careful when you're buying beads because you really do need a very large hole in order to pass some fabric through it. And I might have to get my Dremel out and make some things happen, but that is a project for another day. Although I was able to use a couple of these on a few of my necklaces, so fine. But what we really wanted were these large beads right here from Joann's. And the first thing I do is measure them, and they came out to be about 5 inches. So I'm cutting the fabric at 5.5 because you've got to give yourself a little wiggle room, and you definitely need to, if you're going to do your 1/4 inch seam, you've got to allow for that. So again, we're cutting 2 strips at 5.5, and this is just from some scrap yardage that I had. And now I'm cutting one of them in half because I'm going to sew it to the other side just to elongate it. I could have just sewed it end to end, which that's what I should have done because I really wanted that dark purple to be in the middle, and that is not what ended up happening here. So I'm just taking off the selvage ends, and then of course I cut one, and now I'm going to sew this end to that end, and totally messed up the vibe I was going for because like I said, I wanted the dark purple to be in the middle, and that's not what happened, guys. So after you do this, go on ahead and press that open and then press it in half. And now we are going to close up the side of our tube. And this is going to be a really easy tube to turn. The smaller ones get a little bit more difficult. So I grabbed a bodkin, and that's just a fancy name for maybe a paper clip or a safety pin, and I just attached it to one end, and now I'm pulling it through the tube. Again, this is a nice, simple, easy project that's really fast. And instead of using those big, heavy pearl balls, I think that a styrofoam ball would do just fine. One of those smooth ones, yeah, and then it won't be so heavy. Now, I'm a lot of woman, and so I can handle a big, heavy necklace. It's not gonna really mess with my neck and stuff. And I also have really fat earlobes, fun fact. And so I can wear really heavy earrings too. I get it from my mom. We can wear any earring, and we do not have problems, which is kind of cool. But again, use styrofoam balls if you're doing this. It will be cheaper, and the necklace will lay lovely, and it will just not be so heavy. Well, we finally got that turned with the bodkin. And now I'm opening up these pearls. These are very, very large pearls, and they're kind of cool. So you just send it down the tube, and when you get it where you like it, the way that I just tied a knot. What? It's just that simple. Tie a knot, tighten it up, do it on either side, and just keep sending the balls through the tube and tying knots. I got more compliments on this necklace than I probably ever have on any project that I've ever sewn. People love this. And if you know Tula fabric, you totally know. Like when you know, you know. And so people totally knew this fabric. It was very on trend for the moment. This fabric probably had just come out around that time. So yeah, people love it. And it's an ombre, and you know your girl loves a good ombre. And so you just tighten up the little knots And there you have a super duper cute necklace. Because I bought two of these strands, I put in a whole bunch of balls, which is fine, not a big deal. Um, Again, my neck can hold a very heavy necklace, and this wasn't super duper heavy, but it's definitely not light, and styrofoam would have made a big difference. And so we're going to go ahead and put a few more of these down, tie the knots, and then we're going to close it up on the end. And you really don't need to be worried about how you close it up because this isn't one of those fitted necklaces. This one has some drape to it. It's got some length on it. So this is my last one. And I just grab the ends and I just freshen them up because I've been pushing those balls and tugging on it and whatnot. And so it was kind of, you know, um, weathered there. So I went ahead and gave it a nice little trim on an angle. And make sure you do these on an angle. It makes the balls a whole lot easier to send through. And I'm just tucking in the edges, just rolling them over so that I have about a quarter of an inch tucked in. And after I do that, I just sewed it shut so that I had a nice finished edge. And then I just matched them up the same way that you would do binding and just stitched them together. And just like that, I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys later on the next one. If you haven't done so already, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye.